Florida Senator Marco Rubio is a rising star in the Republican Party and a Tea Party favorite. His Cuban immigrant background may be appealing to Latinos, a group that Mitt Romney needs if he wants to win the presidential election. In 2004, George Bush won 56% of the Hispanic vote here in Florida. In 2008, President Obama won 57%, so roughly even. Right now, given the positions that Mitt Romney has articulated that he stands for in terms of immigration and other issues, do you see him pulling these kind of numbers this year?
I expect him to do better than how we did in 2008, but you have to work on it. And let me explain. I think what those numbers show is that
right now, today, he couldn't pull these kind of numbers.
Well, the election's not today. I think we just got out of a primary cycle, and now that's why we're going to have a campaign where each side's going to tell and try to convince people to vote for them. I think what those numbers explain is what I know instinctively to be true, and that is that Americans of Hispanic descent, especially in Florida, are swing voters, that they're willing to vote for Republicans or Democrats on an election-by-election cycle. The number one issue in the Hispanic community, let's be clear, is economic empowerment.
When you look at how Hispanics now feel about it, there's a 40% gap. I mean, that beats the gender gap any day. A 40% gap between Hispanics who say they favor President Obama versus Mitt Romney. Candidate Romney has said he's for E-Verify, making employers go through a system to check to make sure that their employees have papers. He is for what he calls self-deportation, which is basically making life so miserable for illegals that may be here, you know, no benefits, no jobs through the E-Verify, that they self-deport. He's talked about, of course, supporting offense. He is against in-state tuition for the children of illegals, illegal children, and he's against the DREAM Act. That just does not seem to me to be an agenda as regards illegal immigrants that can stand and win him votes in the Hispanic community.
But I think that's where people make a mistake. You see, this notion that somehow, in order to appeal to Hispanic voters, you have to support illegal immigration is just not true.
Well, now, but this comes across, does it not, as anti-immigrant?
Well, here's been my suggestion, and I think Governor Romney's doing a good job of it. Here's been my suggestion. Other than only just talking about what we're against, you have to talk about what you're for. And what I have said consistently is that the Republican Party is and must become and continue to be the pro-legal immigration party. We have to make very clear we support legal immigration. The vast majority of Americans of Hispanic descent are legally here.
Immigration, is it not? I mean, I think everybody supports legal immigration. That's part of the American dream.
It does matter how you talk about the issue. It starts by recognizing that the vast majority of people who are in this country illegally, you know, didn't come here to steal from the American government. They're in search of jobs and opportunity. They are doing what most people would do if their family, their children were hungry and their family were suffering. And that is just about anything you have to do in order to provide for your family. You go down to Homestead, Florida here, and you talk to migrant workers that may be here without documents. They would tell you they wish there was a functional guest worker program, and that the reason why they can't return to their countries, they're afraid they won't be able to come back next year.
They haven't been talking about guest worker programs really so much as they've been talking about fences and in-state tuition being denied to the children of illegals, who, as you note in your bill that you're working on, had very little choice in coming here. Well, is that a sustainable position?
Again, you have to have immigration laws, and they have to be enforced. That doesn't mean that because you support the laws that you don't recognize the humanitarian aspects of the immigration problem.